Welcome to the beautiful world of aquascaping, guys. I'm here once again at GreenAqua in Budapest, and it is a pleasure to see this tank in such a good conditions. So if you haven't seen the previous videos yet, check out the playlist up here. There you can see how I created a hardscape during the 10th anniversary of the GreenAqua shop, and as well how I blended it. This is a featured video, you can find it on the GreenAqua channel, but again, it is linked in the playlist above. Guys, this tank has evolved so nice, and I'm very happy to see it in good hands. I mean, I know it in good hands, but the colors of the Rotala Atra are just mind-blowing. And in this video, I'm gonna talk you through, we're gonna have a close look on this tank, on all the details, and yeah, how it's doing, what kind of maintenance I would do to improve the tank, and what might be necessary to take it to a final shot. Green tea. So my original vision with this aquarium was to achieve this kind of diorama style look where you have the big branches in the foreground, like if you're in the middle of a forest and you're looking to a horizon where you see the mini landscape rock on the left side in the background, and you look through the forest. So basically I wanted a very dense look, and partially this look has been achieved. There is plenty of Riccardia commendrifolia growing on the rocks here. I can see some moss here and there in between, and I'm just wondering if the guys from GreenAqua eventually have added some moss to it, or if this moss was hiding in the Riccardia commendrifolia, which can always happen if you don't use tissue culture material. And I know, in fact, I have used moss from pads, so that can be the case in this situation. So we have Riccardia growing beautifully on the branches. You can see in the GreenAqua maintenance video how they trimmed it just recently. And you have to trim your Riccardia, otherwise it will just become too much and then become loose and float up. Towards the back we have plenty of Rotala Atra, and guys, Rotala Atra is purling so nice in this aquarium. We have above the Twinstar 600S RGB light, and this light is making this tank look so good. The reds are nice, the greens are very saturated, and the plants are purling. I know, in fact, that this tank has suffered at the beginning with the bucephalandras. I have added plenty of tissue culture bucephalandras, and for some reason they didn't make it. So I know Balázs or someone from GreenAqua, they have replanted a lot of the bucephalandras. So I can remember, you know, some of the bucephalandras where I added them, so they are now not at the exactly same position. But nonetheless, it is a very nice wild mix. There is a lot of patterns in here. I like the little small crypts. It must be the Cryptocorini compact and the Marsilia hirsuta together with the Cryptocorini pava in the foreground. It's looking super natural, like in a wild forest. Specifically, I like this front area over here. I almost have the feeling like maybe due to some maintenance, like if the driftwood or the hardscape has kind of shifted a little bit towards the front glass of the aquarium. It's almost touching it if I check it from above. Towards that very dense and bushy look that I wanted to achieve, it would just take away some depth of the aquarium, but maybe it just takes more time for the plants to become more dense. So I would wish the Rotala Atra and other sand plants to grow more densely towards the midground, towards the front of the aquarium, to have this really forest-like look. Other than that, we have the sand path that is coming from the back, and Hemianthus scuba has been used on the horizon to kind of mimic the Marsilia hirsuta in the foreground. And guys, if you compare the leaf size of the Hemianthus scuba in the back and the Marsilea hirsuta in the front. This really adds to the sense of depth in this aquarium, because the leaves of the Hemianthus cuba, they're literally 1/10 of a size of the Marsilea hirsuta, and because of the round shape, one could easily think that might be the same plant, just very far away. And I really like how the GreenAqua guys take care of this sand path. I can see because of the different color that they have added a layer of fresh sand on top of the old one. Maybe some of the sand has been removed during the maintenance. You always cleaning, you know, removing some dirt, some soil from the sand areas, and then you have to refill the sand. I really like the choice of the livestock in this aquarium. I think the Galaxyrus borer is almost close to perfect choice for this aquarium. The dwarf size of the Galaxyrus borer, the colors and their behavior. These fish, they're always looking to hide somewhere, but because they're so numerous in this aquarium and there are no other predators, they feel very safe and secure, so one see them a lot, but at the same time they're kind of playing with the viewer. They're hiding behind the branches or in between the plants. They're coming out, hiding back again. They're very interesting to observe. However, with the shrimp choice, just basic Amano shrimp, I think it is good for the maintenance. Definitely Amano shrimp by far is the best algae eating shrimp. I really like those Sulawesi inland shrimps that Philipp Schwarz has in his contest tank in Austria. I might have used maybe like tiger shrimps or something like this, more interesting in this aquarium, but maybe it's just not necessary. It would just drain or drag too much attention. Something I'm not so pleased with is the upper section of this aquarium. I remember in the beginning I have used Monocoleum tenerum, this type of large size Riccia moss at the top of the branches. It's not there anymore. I don't know what happened. Now I see some Riccardia at the top. It doesn't work out for me because we have Riccardia at the bottom, we have the Riccardia on the branches along with some other moss, and again Riccardia on the top. It's like Riccardia everywhere. For the diorama style, I mean Riccardia is a nice moss, but for a diorama style layout I think it requires something different with more of a leaf type of structure. So maybe the Bolbitis deformis, I don't like using it too much because it is, in my opinion, a terrarium plant, a terrestrial plant. It can survive underwater for a very long time, but the growth is close to zero. It doesn't really grow underwater, it doesn't like it. So for that reason, I don't know if that would be an ideal plant. Possibly a different type of moss that creates some sort of flat layers could be used on the top, maybe something like a spiky moss. To create this kind of overshadowing effect. Maybe some more Panetifida could be used on top. We still have some Panetifida on the bottom. In this case, I would remove the Panetifida from the bottom, just replace it with something different so that we don't have the same type of foliage on the top and at the bottom of the forest. Eventually, floating plants, something like Limnobium leviatum could be used there, but then again it has very long roots and it would be quite difficult to maintain, but just for the final picture maybe could work as a foliage. Or who knows, maybe the real Bolbitis hodiloti could be used as well, but it has the tendency to become quite large. Other than the kind of rooftop plants, I would like to see for the final image maybe the sand raised a little bit more towards the back of the aquarium, and I would eventually shift the rocks that go towards the horizon, the mini landscape, a little bit more to the right, because when I have a look on the aquarium from here I see the path going all the way towards the back, but if you take a full frontal view like you would do on the final picture for a contest, it's kind of a little bit like out of the frame, it's like hidden behind, and I think it would be nice if it was visible. So I would just shift everything that's there in this area in the back a little bit towards the right. It can be achieved super easily by using some more mini landscape rocks, and preferably those rocks are kind of pre-soaked so they have the mature color, because if you use fresh mini landscape rocks they have very bright colors are not saturated of the mini landscape rock if it's very brand new. If it stays underwater for a longer period of time because of the acidic pH, it will become more darker because the top layer kind of dissolves or melts in the aquarium. We are talking just about microscopic thin layers here, so just use mini landscape rocks that have been used there before, or just use them in there and wait until they get the patina. And then, yeah, of course, the stems, I would love them to grow up a little bit taller, almost all the way towards the surface, become really bushy, really dense, so I almost don't see the background anymore. And as for the background, I can see there is some sort of back lighting system attached to it, and I would love to have everything like white, maybe with a little blue on the very top, you know, like the sky, and maybe in that area something red, like a sunrise or a sunset on that third where all the lines where the sand path is going to on the horizon. I think that would be quite nice. Guys, this wraps up my review of this 60p diorama tank that escaped here at GreenAqua. I'm very happy with how it looks like. I will take a ton of pictures for social media, that's for sure. I'm curious what you think about it. Do you like it? Let me know down in the comments below. Hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so yet. And as always, I'm gonna see you in the next one.